Hi again and welcome back to the Clown's Pocket. Today I'd like to talk to you about the OLIGHT i1R EOS flashlight, or torch as we call them in the UK. This tiny flashlight has been with me for about 5 years now, and it's been in and out of my pocket on more occasions than I care to remember, which is why it's a bit beat up and losing some of its colour. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So this tiny flashlight has no visible buttons, so it has an off setting, a low light setting and a high setting. Off is off, low is 5 lumens and high is 150 lumens. And to activate it, you twist the torch. So if you keep twisting beyond the off position, it opens up, and this is how you recharge it via a micro USB. Just push it back together again and then start twisting clockwise, and you'll come first to the low light setting. There we go. So like I said, that's 5 lumens, and twist it one more time and you get to 150 lumens. All right, let's take this outside and we'll have a look at just how bright this is. So this is a very capable little torch. Here we have it on the lower light level setting, 5 lumens, which is enough for me to get around and make sure I don't break my neck going down the stairs. And then if we crank it up all the way from 5 lumens to 150, that way we can get from the house all the way across to the car, making sure that we don't step in any new surprise dog logs left by Max and Luna. One charge will give us 15 minutes on the 150 lumen setting, and on the 5 lumen setting you get 6 hours of usage. To give you a better idea of just how bright 150 lumens is, that's what it does to a tree about 15 meters away. So some pricing information first. In the US on Amazon.com, this is currently retailing at $17.95. In Spain on Amazon.es, it's at €19.95, and it's also available in the UK for £25.70. So the i1R EOS is made from an aluminium alloy, which is durable and yet lightweight, and it has a built-in non-replaceable 3.7 volt lithium-ion battery. The light source is a single LED shining through a total internal reflection optic lens, or TIR lens for short. This has an O-ring seal and an IPX8 rating for water resistance, meaning that it's okay for submersion beyond 1 meter. Let's try that. Yep. Except when charging, the i1R EOS is 4 centimeters long. To put that in perspective, that makes a 58mm Swiss Army knife look big and a 91mm look huge. In terms of weight, it's coming in at 0.4 ounces or 13 grams. And at this size, it basically disappears into a 5th pocket, all the way down to the bottom. And even on a fairly minimalist keyring, it's usually the smallest thing on there. I actually keep mine with a hairband attached to it, which makes it easy to grab hold of and also to do this. And then this. And then this. So this weighs next to nothing. I can wear it on the arm of my glasses and work pretty much anywhere with full light, even if I've had to switch off a fuse. Hello Max, how are you doing? And if you're spending a couple of nights camping, then even at the low setting of 5 lumens, that's often more than enough for you to see sleeping bags, rummaging around looking for clothes, that kind of thing, no problem. And if needed to, you can always push it up to the full 120. Which in an enclosed space like this is frankly more than enough. So as I said before, there is a USB-C version. This is the i1R Pro EOS. That retails a little bit more at $21.95 as opposed to $17.95 for the i1R EOS. Alright, so yes, the Pro. It has USB-C charging as opposed to mini USB, and it is more powerful. So on the higher setting, it will give you 30 more lumens, 180 instead of 150, which to be honest is 20%, and I don't think it makes that much difference. It will last for longer on that setting as well, so it will last for 23 minutes as opposed to 15, which isn't something that I really needed to do. And for the low setting, it actually doubles the amount of usage time available. So it's still 5 lumens, but the i1R2 Pro will actually last for 12 hours as opposed to 6 on a full charge. But to be honest, I never use this for 6 hours between charges. So that is not enough of a benefit. Where it does make a big difference is in the size and the weight. So it's an extra centimetre in length at 2.02 inches, which would be noticeable on a keychain. And also in terms of weight, where this one, the IR2 EOS, is only 0.4, the Pro is 0.78, which is almost double. So for me, the benefits of having something so small that I can carry as a backup torch, an everyday carry torch, which is just there until I need it and I can forget about it, I would prefer to have this than something which is bigger and more obtrusive, even if it's a tiny bit more powerful. So what are some of the pros and cons of the IR2 EOS? Firstly, it's super small. It's so small it's actually quite fiddly, especially when you think that you have to use 2 hands to turn it on and turn it off. However, that also means it's not going to switch on by accident in a tight pocket, by which I mean any pocket within 20 centimetres of my belly, hips, thighs or arse, like some flashlights do. But back to the OLIGHT. This flashlight stays off and out of the way until you want to switch it on. Something else. This isn't the #1 main flashlight that you're going to be taking with you when you go to places where you're going to repeatedly or for extended periods need a flashlight, like caving, like camping. You wouldn't want this as your main flashlight when camping, because if you were getting this out all the time, it may get dropped, it may get lost in the mud or whatever. This is the flashlight that you whip out of your pocket when you have a power cut. This is the flashlight that you use when the TV remote is lost under the sofa. This is the flashlight that your teenage daughter switches on when she's walking home and there's a street lamp out. This is the flashlight that you have with you all the time anyway, and that you forget about until it's the time for it to come out and save the day, and that's what makes it really valuable. That's what makes it real everyday carry. Okay, so to round off, everyday carry. This is something that we're always perfecting it, we're always tweaking it, we're always finding new improvements on what can be done. There are not many pieces within my everyday carry where I'm 100% satisfied with it and I think it fulfills its function perfectly and I wouldn't change anything about it. This is one of those very few pieces. If I had to do it all again, I would buy this torch in a heartbeat. Alright, so thanks very much for watching. Please let me know in the comments if you found this review useful or if you think there was something missing. I do read all of the comments and they influence the future videos that I create. In the near future, I'll be going back to the SOG PowerPoint to continue my series on that. And I'll also be looking at some exciting developments with 58mm Swiss Army knives. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you again.